This is the second year in this particular venue. 2 years ago, all of us came in, the entire creative team. There's about, I don't know, 15, 20 people here. We came into this big black box, which was the Nokia, looked around and we're like, wow, this is going to be tough. And then a couple of us walked out into the middle of the room and started to kind of think, you know what, instead of using that black box stage back there, why don't we put the whole thing in the middle of the room? This year, we walked into the Scout about 6 months ago, and we really wanted to kind of, build on what we did last year. So we put the stage, almost in the middle of the room, and then put a number of satellites around that stage, and created this huge perspective arch with a LED lightway right down the center of the room. And I think what we did successfully last year was marry a creative design with obviously great performances on the stage, but also marry the design and the performances with some really kind of unique camera technology. And this year we've done that again. So the overall camera complement is about 16 cameras. I would say 8 or 9 of them have got very, very specific uses, and 6 or 7 of them are at other places in the room where I can be able to get shots that I haven't thought about, or I'm going to be able to get shots where the producers say, do you know what, I want to do this here, and I hadn't planned for that, and I'm hopefully got all the angles covered. But it's actually really difficult to have, say, 14 or 15 cameras in a room like this and shoot multiple stages that are all at different heights, that all shoot from very specific angles in a very different way. It's actually really an exercise of kind of like maths and geometry and angles, and I spend a long time with Florian's team, them sending me over example views from their CAD model saying, okay, if I put a camera here, what would it look like? If I raised it this much, what would it look like? And if I put my camera there, how many seats do I kill behind that camera? Because it's not all about, where I want to put my cameras. There's, an audience that has to be put in here as well. And, as a director, I want my cameras high and close. And as an audience, you want your cameras far away and low. So there's so many competing factors that go on when you're kind of drawing up a camera plot and indeed creating a set. As a director, MTV is definitely one of my favourite shows to do because you have such scope, but you also have belief and kind of the financial backing, but also the kind of the creative backing and commitment of people to make the show look visually interesting and different.